Hi there, I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com, and this is my Smart American Accent training. Welcome to our Saturday live question and answer class. In this class, I take your questions regarding American English pronunciation, American accent, whatever you've been struggling with that might be affecting your fluency when speaking English. I'm happy to answer questions about that. Feel free to put your questions in the chat at any time. In the beginning, we're going to talk about a topic. I'm going to talk a little bit about these words tact and tacked, and a little bit about past tense, but your questions can be about anything. They don't have to be about this topic. So this was a request from one of our viewers. They were wondering about the words tact and tacked, and these words have the same pronunciation. So tacked, the noun, and tacked, the past tense verb of to tack, are the same, even though the spelling is quite different. So we've had a theme lately in our Saturday classes talking about spelling and sounds, and simply because we can have accent error patterns that come from words being difficult to pronounce, that come from the sound system in our native language and just sounds that are difficult in English. And then sometimes we also have issues that arise because of the way things are spelled. We don't have a consistent pattern for spelling in English. You can't look at letter A and know for sure what sound it's going to make, although we do have patterns that you can learn that can help you. So we'll talk about some of those today as we break down these words. Both words have the same sounds, and the sounds in the words the vowel sound for the letter A is vowel A, like in black cat. And I do often recommend learning an anchor word. It doesn't have to be black cat, but a word that you know has the A vowel that you can hear it in and you can compare words. So I can say cat tacked, black tacked. I can use those to help me hear and listen for what vowel I should be saying there. Then we have in the first word tacked, we have letter C making the k sound. In the second word tacked, we have letters CK making the k sound. This is typical. We have in words like fact, for example, we often spell that kt with a CT at the ends of words. In a word like tack, we often jack or lack, hack, we often spell that with CK at the ends of words. And then probably the most confusing part is the letter T at the end, the T sound. In tact, it's straightforward. We spell it with a T. But here, the letters ED also make the T sound. This is because when we add the letters ED for past tense, they can do three different things. Most commonly, they make a D sound. For example, in words like moved or played, then they just say d. Move, moved. I'm adding the d. Play, played. That's because move and play both end with what are called voiced sounds. My voice is on when I'm saying the v or the a, and then I just keep my voice on and make the d, which is a voiced sound as well. For the word tacked, the k sound is a voiceless sound. So when I have a past tense or a verb that ends with a voiceless sound, specifically the p, the k, and the f and the s sounds, then I don't turn my voice back on. I don't say tacked, but rather tacked. That the letters ed just equal the t sound. So other examples: past, stopped, etc. Another similar example to this, we have passed with st, same pronunciation as past. I passed the ball in the past. So that's because we have that voiceless sound at the end of our verb, and our ed says the t sound. I go into a lot more detail about past tense in my videos for past tense, and also in our American Accent 6-week course. I teach you how to watch out for what the ed says, how to practice it, how to use it smoothly in fluent speech. So you can check out those courses on speechmodification.com. All of our online courses are either free or available for under $2. So they're a really good resource to help you with questions about pronunciation and details of accent like this. Lastly, sometimes the letters ed are going to say a whole syllable. So you notice here, I don't say moved or played. I don't have to add a syllable. It's just one syllable words, moved, played, just the d sound. But if my verb ends with a T or a D, like need or want, I can't just add another D there or another T there. So that's where my ED is going to say id. So needed, wanted. That's where we get an extra syllable. Again, you can see a long list of words, hear many examples for these past tense examples in our American Accent 6-week course, and also our videos for past tense here on the channel. Okay, so that was just one way of looking at some spelling and sounds, a couple specific words to help you and just to get your mind thinking about that topic. Please feel free to ask questions about that, what I just covered, or I'll turn to your questions now. They don't have to be on that topic, just related to English pronunciation and American accent. So welcome, good morning. Question about when the CH sound sounds like SH. So not very common. Sometimes in words that come from the French, so like the word cash, we have an E at the end. That's the same as this word, cash. At the beginnings of words, the CH sounds often make the ch sound, also at the end. So a word like church, we just have the ch sounds. But what's key, I would say, is to, when you're encountering a word or learning a new word that you don't know, and you see the letter CH, most of the time they're going to say the ch sound, and this is the symbol you'll see in the dictionary. If you see this symbol in the dictionary, a tall, skinny S, that will be the sh sound. So if you look in the dictionary for cash, you're going to see the ca, or there's our black cat vowel again, and then you're going to see that sh symbol. So regardless of the word, if you look it up and you want to know what the CH says, look for that sound. You'll see that this is the IPA symbol for both of these words, versus for church, you're going to see a T and a SH sound together. That makes the ch sound. That's basically because when I'm saying ch, I'm moving my tongue from the T position, dropping it into the position I use for the SH sound. So church is going to have our you'll see that it has the ch at the beginning and the end. More examples for the letter CH saying the SH sound. Sometimes maybe in the middle. I'm thinking of a lot of French words like marché now, but that's not really a common English word. So it's not a super common phenomenon. You're more likely going to get the ch sound here than the sh sound. So probably the most valuable skill is to know how to look that up. I will show you a quick resource regarding looking words up. This is something I often demonstrate here in our Saturday classes, which is using online dictionaries. You can use your phone or your computer. If you're not sure what dictionaries to use, it's best to find something that you understand the symbols for. So I'm going to suggest check out on our website, speechmodification.com. When you go to our free practice area, you'll see that there's a search box here. And you can type in anything you're looking for. So you could type in CH there, see what you find. But more helpful, I'm going to say, is to type in dictionary, and you'll see my lessons that talk about how to use the dictionary. So if I look here at this one that just says using online dictionaries help for pronunciation, you'll see that I have a link to an online dictionary that I recommend, which is the Oxford Learners Dictionaries. I like this one because it uses the IPA symbols, so you can look for that skinny SH, you can look for that CH sound. So let's look at our word cash, for example. And then it also will show you the British and the American pronunciation if they happen to be different. I can listen to the word. So here's the British.
Cash.
And the American English.
Cash.
Basically the same. And I can see there's my skinny SH symbol for the SH sound for the letter CH in cash. So again, that was on speechmodification.com. Go to free practice and use the search tools. You can see that dictionary and of course many other free resources there. Thank you for that question, and I'm happy you're here today in our live class. Okay, welcome everyone. So nice to see so many of you here, and welcome to those of you who are new. We have a question about the word specifically. So I do have a video for specifically, and after class I can show you, I can put a link there for you, but let's just talk about it for you today. So my video is about the word specific and specifically. Specifically. So there's two things that I want to specifically point out with this word. Number one, spelling again can be confusing here. I have letter C saying different things. And then also there's an error pattern that I often hear where with words that end with A-L-L-Y, sometimes I will hear people say specifically, and we typically often don't say anything for that letter A. We say it more like specifically, which looks like this. So I would write it as specifically. IPA is going to be first letter E, is probably going to actually be an I in the dictionary, because often letter E says the unstressed I sound. If you see an E like in return or specific, you're probably going to see an I in the dictionary. I wrote it here with like a schwa because I think it doesn't make any difference if I say specifically or specifically. I think I personally usually say specifically. But again, you just need a reduced vowel there. It doesn't matter too much if it's an I or an Then we have the sif syllable is stressed. So letter C is going to say the S sound. You'll see S in the dictionary. Specific will again have our I sound, but here it's going to be longer, not a reduced vowel, but the true vowel. Specific, another I vowel, shorter, reduced. Letter C, this letter C says the K sound, specific, and then not ali, but rather specifically, just ending with the li syllable. Has second syllable stress, so words that have second syllable stress or later in the word, it can really help to start on that stress syllable. That would sound like saying specifically. Can kind of help you get that rhythm of this one is long, has a clear vowel. These others are shorter and may have reduced vowels. So yeah, it's a tough word. My video for specifically probably just walks through those same kinds of steps. But again, after class, come back, look in the description or the comments, and you can find a link that I'll have put there for you with more details about your word. Thanks. That was a great request. Definitely a challenging word because of the sounds, the spelling, and the rhythm for that word. Wonderful. Okay, I see we have one of our channel members here today. Yes, cash and cash are the same pronunciation, but they're not the same as cliche. So if you're asking about cliche, that's another good example. Thank you for a word that comes from the French, and what letter CH say the SH sound. So in cliche, we have the first letter C saying the K sound, letter I saying the E sound, letters CH saying the SH sound, so we'll see that symbol there, and then we have the A diphthong, so I would write that like cliche, stressed on the second syllable. In French, they put accent mark to show that you're going to have your stress there, cliche. Yeah, thank you for another example of CH saying SH, again, another word from the French, like cash. Okay, we have a question. Hit on something, search. They can't hit on my name. The system does not make sense. Okay, so phrasal verb, or does the something after the phrasal verb have to be tangible? So if you're saying to hit on something, you can use that for a search. A search can hit on a name. Yeah, that's okay to use. Great question. Phrasal verbs. I do have a playlist about some phrasal verbs and also idioms. It's our phrase of the week playlist. Definitely something to that I'll continue to cover for you because it's a big part of how we speak in English using those phrasal verbs. Okay. We have a question about prefixes, unfortunately, unproven, how to make it different than in. So if I'm saying, for example, unproven, it's unproven. I'm definitely going to have the schwa vowel there, and I may even have a little stress. Probably still the main stress is going to be on the prove of proven, but on unproven, you definitely on this one want the sound, not the I sound. So there are times when it matters if I'm doing or I in my unstressed syllable, but these are usually have secondary stress. So you'll see in unproven, we have, sorry, that's an U, not an O. Unproven. We do have the main stress that's put with an line above and in front of the stressed syllable, but you may see secondary stress. That's a line, subscript line below and in front of the unstressed syllable. So if I have unproven, I'm going to have a little bit of stress and more of a stress schwa there, not the unstressed schwa. And then in something like impatient, again, my main stress is going to be on the patient, but I may have some secondary stress, a little more length on im. So you'll see the I there. I can't use an in that event. So the places that matter, if I have a prefix, it's going to have maybe a little secondary stress. And that's how you're going to make that difference, using a clear schwa versus a clear I in those cases. Great questions today. Yes, definitely some of these details can be a little bit hard to know. Reading the dictionary, again, like I demonstrated, can be super helpful for finding some of those kinds of details. And then, of course, do ask me as well. If you were the person who recently asked about the word unfortunately, oh no, it was someone else actually, that's just a coincidence. I do have a video for the word unfortunately. When you're on my channel, if you're on your desktop, you can use the search box right on the channel and look for specific videos, or it doesn't work on the phone because it'll search all of YouTube for videos. So if you're on your phone and you want to know about a certain word, leave me a comment, and I'll give you a direct link to the video you're looking for and the word you're looking for. Thanks for that request. Very good. Hello, everyone. So we have a question about yes, okay, you're welcome for the word specifically. I'm glad you found that helpful. Do feel free to leave your questions. Even if you're watching this not live, you can leave a question in the comments. I do go back and review those, give you links, give you more information to help you find additional resources to answer your questions. So wonderful questions today. I will be back again tomorrow with another Word of the Day class, and on Sunday we'll have our live class for channel members. So if you'd like to join as a channel member, you can click the join button on any of our videos, check out the different perks that we offer. One of the things, in addition to members only videos that we offer, is a weekly class where you can leave your questions at any time throughout the week, and I cover your words on Sunday. So you don't have to be able to attend live. You can just ask and then check back at your convenience. Or of course, you can also attend live on Sundays and ask your questions at that time. Okay, a couple more quick questions and then we'll wrap up for today. We have a question about the word do and dewy. So in American English, we say these the same as the words do and do. In British English, this one they're going to do as dew with a gliding sound. I believe they may do this one as dew as well, and this one just as do. But for us, all of them are just the d sound and the oo sound, which I would rewrite with two O's, do. And then when we get to dewy, we have basically just do plus E. You may or may not see the w glide in the IPA in the dictionary, but we do definitely say it, because when we move between an oo, a rounded vowel, and an E, an unrounded vowel, we use vowel to vowel linking, and we naturally have the w rounded glide in between those. So thinking of dewy as dewy, dewy. Just allowing your mouth, your voice to stay on, your mouth to move from the oo to the e position. That glide will happen naturally, dewy. So do and dewy. Great words. Thank you for that request. Okay. One final quick question. We have a question about sin and sing, since and sense. So for sin and sing, I will refer to, I have several videos about this topic, but we have for sin, I'm lifting my tongue into the position for the n sound, like in the word no. And for sing, we have the ng sound. I'm lifting my tongue into the position I use for the ng sound in the back. So sin. And one way to feel if you're doing that correctly is to say, for example, sin is. It should sound kind of like sin is. You're going to see that n sound versus, for example, sing it. You're going to have the ng sound. It shouldn't sound like sin it or sing it. You don't want a g or an n sound, but rather just the ng sound. Do check out my video for the ng sound, and I have words for sin and sing, sang and sung, helping you get that difference between the n and the ng sound. That is also something I cover in my both my Sounds of English course on speechmodification.com and our American Accent 6-week course. The Sounds of English course walks through every single sound in English, how it's spelled, accent error patterns to watch out for. So it's a really great resource to build a strong foundation to pronounce anything that you like in English. Okay, and then you were also asking about since and sense. And what we have there is, I don't know why suddenly I'm just in this tiny corner of the board. What we have there is the same sounds, except the only difference is the I vowel in since, like in big, and the vowel in sense, like in red. These SE and CE both make this sound in both of these words. And often you will hear when I'm saying sense, it makes sense that N may influence my vowel a little bit, but you should hear that since is, my mouth is more closed, sense, my mouth is a little bit more open. If you have trouble hearing it between these words, it's always really good to use some anchor words that are different. For example, trying since it is, using the I vowel for all three. It is since, kind of feeling that I amount of opening being the same. And then red sense, or sense, men, then, sense. Another word with and match it with because you won't have trouble between it and red with those vowels probably. It's just that the surrounding sounds are the same, so that makes it more difficult in similar pairs like this. Great words and good questions. Thank you so much. I hope that helped you. You can get help for the I and vowels in my Sounds of English course as well, and I have several videos here on the channel that walk you through all the vowels and also contrasting words like since and sense with I versus feeling the amount of opening and having some awareness of those vowels, anchor words, all of those things can be very helpful. Great. Okay. For Karina, I do also have another video for the word definitely. So I'm going to put that in the comments. Come back after class and check the description or comments for this video. Or you can use the search box on speech modification, or leave me a comment and I'll give you a link to our video for definitely. Okay. So one other question about phrasal verbs. Get by from default procedure, get over default procedure. I don't think that either of those are correct. If you're trying to use a sentence that is difficult to travel, if you're from Egypt, because you must get by or get over default procedure, you must go through default procedure, or you must contend with default procedure, but we don't really use get by or get over in that sense. Okay, and lastly, we have a question about million. We'll cover that briefly. I do have a video for million and billion. What people struggle with here sometimes is the moving from the L to the yun. So thinking of it as million, knowing that we don't really do a million. We don't really do the E in this. We do more, for American English, more million. So the y glide is a quick iya, but I think for most people, visualizing it this way, million, can be helpful. Not much vowel in that second syllable. Keep that really reduced. A million times. Again, after class, you can check back. I'll put a link for my video for million, where I go into a little bit more detail and a little bit more in depth. So thank you for a wonderful class today. As I mentioned earlier, I'll be back tomorrow with our Word of the Day class and our members only live class. You can get more resources and help in our free practice area on speechmodification.com. Also on our courses page, we have our free and reduced low price online courses to get you even more details. Thanks so much for a wonderful class today. Those were great questions, and I look forward to seeing you again next week on Saturday in our live class, as well as throughout the week in our Word of the Day classes. Thanks for liking and subscribing, sharing videos, and commenting. It really does help support the channel, and I appreciate it very much. I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com. Remember, if you want to sound like a native speaker, you can do it. speechmodification.com. Bye, everyone. Hope to see you again soon.